Recording. There you go. So let's say hi. Hello, everyone. Greetings of the day to all of you from wherever you're joining in from. Welcome to the Pivot 0x Hub Masterclass. My name is Shantanu Sharma, and I head operations at Pivot. For those who do not know about us, Pivot is a global Web3 startup venture accelerator firm. We mostly focus on accelerating early stage startup space. I invite all of you to follow us on our social media about us. As far as 0x Hub is concerned, this is going to be an open masterclass initiative where we want to enable the Web3 startups and aspiring founders with knowledge from within the industry. All our sessions, which we're going to organize, which we've organized in the past as well, will be led by experts in the field. And most of them are going to be founders, investors, VCs, angels, and many more, and all experts in the field in their own area of business, their own area of. Today, we are very happy to have someone who has spent his 4 years in building in this space, in the Web3 space. Initially, he was working with companies like projects like CoinFox and demystify as a developer, project manager, project guy whose lives loves building things. And then he started exploring the DeFi space and multiple different technologies available in the EVM ecosystem. And right now, he started building something called Plena Finance, which is basically an application of sorts, which deep dives into account abstraction in a very big. I'm sure everyone has heard about account abstraction. And over the past 2 years, he's built this great product with a very huge community of about 200,000 people. And over the past about 6 months, 7 months, you would have heard them, looking at investments. And he has driven this investment to a huge round of about $5 million worth of raise. So hats off to this person. It's my very good pleasure to invite my good friend and mentor for today, Mr. Sparsh Jham. He is the founder and CEO, Plena Finance. He will conduct the session, which is primarily on the innovation and execution strategies in Web3. Sparsh, allow me 2 minutes. I'll just, put you on spotlight and
Cool.
Yeah, please, all yours, Sparsh. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll mute myself and stop my video as well. And for the rest of the others, please, I would request all of you to just keep yourself on mute, let the session get over. Keep the questions intact, so we'll ask these questions once the entire session is over. Okay, thank you very much. Sparsh, all over to you. If you have a presentation, you can share directly because you're the co-host. All the best.
So, yeah, thank you. So thanks for having me, Shantanu, and for the amazing introduction. Also, I can't share my screen somehow. Can you give me the permission to share that?
Just hold on, let me check. I think you can share. Okay, hold on. I'll make you the host, so I think probably you can share that. Yeah, we can now.
Yes. Perfect. Cool. Yeah. So as just give me 1 second. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So as Shantanu said, I'll be talking about innovation and execution strategies for Web3. Somehow it's not working. Yeah, I'll just give you a quick intro about myself as well and Plena Finance. So I think Shantanu covered pretty much everything. So as Shantanu said, I've been in this space for, I would say, more than half a decade now. I was working in companies like CoinFox and EasyFi, companies which touched a market cap of $500 million in just a few months. And after working on those companies, I started working on Plena Finance in 2021. So if you've heard about account abstraction, it's quite trending right now. Everyone believes that it is the only technology which could bring mass adoption to blockchain applications. And we were the first application to use that technology. So when we started working on it, there was no such term as account abstraction. Everyone was they didn't care about us back then. So because Vitalik didn't publish anything and we were just trying to solve a major problem in the space, which was the poor user experience. And what Plena Finance does is it provides you a centralized application like user experience while still giving you full custody of your funds. And yeah, I think Shantanu shared about the stats as well. We have more than 200K users. We'll be doing our TG soon. So if you want to follow us, you can follow us on social media as well, on Twitter, Telegram for the latest updates. And yeah, I'll keep it short and continue to the presentation. And guys, let me know, like, my internet connection is not stable somehow. So let me know if you're not able to hear me. So yeah, talking about the importance of innovation in the Web3 space, right? So I would say, like, currently we're in an infant phase. So when I joined the industry, like, there was only, I would say, one blockchain back then, or the most famous one, Ethereum. And everyone was saying that there would only be one single blockchain which everyone would use. So they used to come out different projects with or different blockchains, and they used to call themselves Ethereum killer. Now, after that, the trend changed, and everyone said that they started launching L2s and said they were making Ethereum scalable. After that, there was modular blockchains, and now there's application chain. So we're not sure where the industry is headed. And we are in, I would say, we're really early, and we could actually build some projects which could change the future of the space as well. Change the, like, you can set up some standards which everyone could use. Like for us, when we launched Plena Finance, and it's kind of like a standard now, account abstraction, which everyone has to use or should use. And yeah, talking about adoption as well, right? So just to talk about the numbers, so there are 420 million people in the Web3 space, or people not in the Web3 space, people who have invested in Web3 projects, but less than 5% of them use any blockchain applications, right? Because it's so difficult to use them. And it's also a good point that, a good statement, because it shows that we're really early, right? There are very few people who are using the application, and it's kind of like the early days of internet. Honestly, I'm not that old, so I had internet while when I was growing up. I was able to use these applications, but yeah, we saw that a lot of things were changing. So this could be your time to build. I think it would help you with a lot of stuff. For example, when Uniswap launched, right, or Swap launched, so you saw that people started using Uniswap a lot because it was way more gas efficient. And even now, they're the biggest techs out there because they keep on innovating. They keep on making changes to their application, and whatever they do, every other project or every other dex out there just copies them. I would say mostly 90% of the dexes out there, or 99% of the dexes out there, are just a copy of or a fork of Uniswap. Now, talking about the, I would say, effective execution of Web3 projects. So if you guys are new to Web3, right? So I just tell you that the Web3 space is very different from the Web2 space. So if you're building a project in Web2 space, like from building the project or MVP to making or going public, it could take you years or even decade maybe, right, to launch it. But everything happens pretty quickly in Web3 space. You could go from MVP to launching your token or going public in a matter of weeks. I would say 12 to 16 weeks. So you just need to have a very clear plan on how you need to move forward. So I would say the first thing that you need to do, it should be building an MVP. Like once you have the MVP, you would have, it would obviously be easier for you to raise funds to show it to the VCs. Also, it helps you a lot because when you have something in your mind, right, and you start building, you realize that, okay, these are the problems that you're facing, and it might not be possible to build that thing, right? So it's really better to build MVP. Even when we were raising funds for Plena, I just wanted to make sure that it works properly, right? And if it's possible or not to do that. So that should be the first step. The second step should be to raise capital, like maybe go to some investors or some angel investors, give them allocation in your pre-seed round or seed round, and it would help you a lot. Like if you go to some really good accelerators or incubators, because they would help you out with a lot of other stuff. For example, they can, if you onboard a really good advisor or join a really good accelerator, it could make things really easy for you. They could help you with your growth strategy and help you with the KOLs, help you onboard other investors pretty quickly as well. So since you're in the bull run, like onboarding KOLs would be really difficult for you. If you approach them by yourself, one by one, maybe they would take a few weeks or even months to reply or get back, or they might not even get back. And these accelerators or incubators, they can help you with that. Like they can connect you with those person or these scales or other investors the same day. And yeah, the third step, it's really important that you onboard some KOLs and build a strong community. So what happens is, like, if you're onboarding some KOLs, right? So they could help you build an initial, I would say, a starting community, which you could use for beta testing, like share your idea with them, get their feedback, and like try to onboard them as a investor. Or if they're not investing, maybe give them some tokens, because if you go to some good KOLs, right? So they'll charge you a couple of $1,000s to promote your product in this space. And obviously, would like to keep your burn rate low, so you can just incentivize them in token and ask them for a long-term support. Like, if I would say you have a good product, there would be a lot of KOLs, influencers who would be happy to help you out or support you. We were able to onboard, I would say, 10 to 20 KOLs back then. In the bear market, when no one was able to, when these KOLs weren't taking tokens, they were only charging USDT for promoting different products. They were super bullish about the narrative that we were building. There was no such term as account abstraction as well back then. So it was really helpful for us. And yeah, I think if they believe in your product, they would convey the same thing to the community as well, which could eventually become your users or token holders at a later stage. So once you've built, I would say, a small community and launched the MVP, shared it with your community, did some beta testing, you can launch your application as well. And after launching your application, it's really important that you use these KOLs again. So if you onboarded, let's say 10, 20 KOLs, just ask them to promote this application with their followers again, so that you can get some initial users. You could run a referral program, maybe affiliate program, or do something else as well to increase traction on your application. And once you have that traction, right, maybe in a couple of weeks or months, you could move to the next stage, which is raising the next round, right, at a
Harsh,
higher valuation.
Harsh, can I ask you,
Sure.
are you changing the screen? Have you changed the screen? Because
Yes.
if the screen is not
Sorry, I'm
changed,
still on the effective execution strategy.
you're in the first, only the first screen. So the screen has not moved to the next.
Okay, let me check.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I told you. Just let me know, like, there's some issue with the internet, or
maybe.
maybe my laptop after the iOS updates. It keeps happening.
Yeah. So you'll have to probably look at the screen per se and look at the screen. Uh, you have to share the window, and then if you're changing one screen, if you share one screen, it gets stuck on that. Share the window, then you can change
Mhm.
the screens as well, and people will be able to see it because you're
I'm
not able to see the next
sharing.
screen.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, let me just, I'll just confirm again once
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Once at a high valuation, once you have that traction, these
We are
KOLs would
still not
obviously help
seeing
you
the
out.
next screen.
Once again, once again. Let me just stop it. And
Yeah, we can stop it and maybe. Okay, now we are seeing the active one.
it should work. Yeah. So yeah, I think once you have that traction, like, you should raise the next round, go to the VCs, and just to give you advice over here. So I would say, like, once you filled maybe 40 or 50% of the next round, just start talking to the exchanges. Like, they're taking too much time right now. They have too many applications. They would take months to give you a listing offer. I would say we made that mistake. And yeah, like, we had to wait for a while. Like, we're still waiting for one more exchange to confirm that. So once you close that, maybe once you close 50% of the fundraise in the next round, start talking to these exchanges, maybe just get an offer from them, listing offer from them. And once you have the offer from them, like, at least you can just, when the fundraiser is complete, you can just sign it and launch your token whenever you want to launch it. You don't have to wait for a couple of months. And the airdrop, I would say, you could do airdrop multiple times. You can do a small airdrop as well. Like, when you launch your application, you can do a small airdrop or reward your community for using your application or joining your product, right? Like, trying it out and giving your feedback. And you should do a major airdrop before the TG. I think the best time to do an airdrop is 4 to 6 week before the TG, because then you get a lot of traction during that time. A lot of people are able to see what you're doing, and the people or the community members and the users that you get, right? So they could become your token holders as well, right? Or token buyers. So it would be up to you. And like if you're able to convert them. And the next thing is, yeah, you launch your token. So just to move forward, like, are you able to see the screen, Shantanu, the next screen?
Yes, we can.
Cool.
Effective team building.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is a really important step. I would say if you want to build a successful project, and it's really important the type of people that you need in your team, right? So if you're good at development, you should hire someone who can help you with marketing. If you're good at marketing, you should hire someone who's good at development. And honestly, I believe like the optimal team size for the core team shouldn't be more than 4 to 5 people, because it gets really difficult to manage those guys. So let's say you could have some a technical guy in the core team, business development, someone who takes care of the business development, someone who takes care of the, I would say, marketing, and yeah, someone who takes care of the fundraise and other stuff. And yeah, strong development team. I would say it's really important in Web3 space, because we're building in a tech, I would say, industry. And honestly, I believe like if you're building a startup, it's really important to have a co-founder from who has a technical background or who has some experience in the Web3 space, because like if you go to hire someone at an early stage, they would charge you a lot of money, and even when you pay them a lot of money, like they wouldn't give you the right advice, right? So and might not that might not work in your favor. They might take too long to build something which could be built in a matter of days. Luckily for us, it was me and my brother, like we both are co-founders, so we were both from technical background, so we knew how long this thing could take, and it also helped us a lot in other ways as well. For example, like when we launched a product, there was this product which you can say our competitor, and they were burning $50,000 to $100,000 on one thing, and we were able to do the same thing by spending $0 every month, right? So it helped us a lot. Like even our VCs were kind of confused, like how we did that. So I think that's going to be really helpful. And even if you, let's say, have some problem later on with the product, let's say there's a vulnerability in the smart contract or something else, you need some help. So at least you know that this guy would be taking care of it, and obviously he'll help you with the speeding up the whole development process. And handling a growing team. Honestly, I think the best way to grow a team is to follow a tree structure where uh, you just allow your core team members to hire the people they need. And but yeah, you just need to discuss it with them, like if it makes sense to hire those people. So currently for us, like we're just working in a structure where I interact with these guys, my core team members, and they have hired other, let's say for example, they have hired a senior backend developer in the mm, for the development team. My brother has hired a senior backend developer, which has a junior backend developer working under him, and a senior mobile developer, which has a junior mobile developer working under him. Then there's in marketing team, the marketing guy has someone who's taking care of the SEO, the content that has to go out. Then the business development guy is taking care of the business development. Like he has hired someone who's talking to other projects, talking to them about partnerships, doing meetings with them, and working with freelance business development managers as well. So I think it's the best structure to work with. Maybe you can follow a different structure as well. For me, I think for us, it's the most efficient one. And yeah, choosing the right advisors, as so the importance of right advisors, right? So I think it's really important in the Web3 space, right? Because you have, I think, like we've all seen that in the Web3 space right now, you're able to reach a really good valuation and get a lot of users as well in the Web3 in the bull market, because there's a lot more traction than there's a lot more users coming in, or money inflow, and they're trying out different applications. And it's up to you, like if you're able to retain those users. And also, it's the right time to launch your token as well, because since there's a lot of buying pressure, you could take it to a multi-billion-dollar valuation or hundreds of million-dollar valuation, take it to a really high valuation. And advisors help you a lot. I've seen a lot of projects do this thing where they just onboard advisors for the sake of adding the photos to their website. Honestly, you're just giving away your tokens for free. They're not helping you out in any way. It's better if you want to do that, you just approach them and ask them to invest a small amount, and then you can do the same thing if you want to do that for the marketing. But yeah, I think you should really keep those advisory tokens for the right advisors who could help you out in different ways. So let's say if you need help with some marketing or growth, right, you can hire someone who could help you with that, right? Or I think in at an early stage, just joining a good accelerator or incubator could help you out. Like they could help you with the right growth strategy, right marketing strategies, and also with the right connections as well. Like if you want to connect it to the VCs or the KOLs, they could help you out. And yeah, it's really important that you decide where you need help, right? So if you don't need any help with, let's say, connecting to VCs or KOLs, right? It's best you don't go for those advisors. You go for someone who could help you with growth strategy, or maybe someone who has really good experience with tokenomics. You go to them or onboard them instead of onboarding the other ones. And yeah, just I would say, unfortunately, this thing happens a lot in the Web3 space, that a lot of advisors, they just sign the agreement or sign the soft and they disappear. They won't help you out with anything. So the best thing would be to maybe talk to some of the projects they're currently advising, and yeah, speak with them, get their feedback, like what they think about their advisors, or if their advisors are able to help them out in any way or not. So yep, so the next slide, leveraging ecosystem partnerships. I would say the partnerships in the Web3 space is very different or much more beneficial than the partnerships in the Web2 space. In Web2 space, you're just partnering up with different projects for mutual growth, right? So let's say if there's a uh, support ticketing system, right? And it partners up with the AI project. So then the AI project is the support ticketing system. They're just able to get more clients or users because of improving the product, because of the AI that they integrated, and the AI product is able to make more revenue, generate more revenue because of the partnership, right? And in the Web3 space, it's very different or much better as well, I would say. Like if you get, first of all, you get free marketing, right? Just imagine partnering up with a project which has a community of 50 to 100K users. You could promote your product to their community for free, and if you go to an influencer, okay, well, which has similar number of who has similar number of followers, you would be paying thousands of dollars for the same, obviously, and you get more visibility. Like you're able to promote your token or project in front of that community, and all of the users, community members, and VCs, advisors, everyone's watching you, everyone see their posts. And you also sometimes get some investors from there and users from there. And for us, we've acquired more than 50,000 users in the last 6 months with the help of just partnerships. And we also got a lot of investors from these partnerships as well. So when we partnered up with these projects, a lot of investors saw what we were building. They were super interested in investing, and they reached out to us. Even the influencers, they reached out to us and they invested, and they're still helping us out. So I think it's a really important thing that you should focus on. You should build your marketing strategy in a way that you're able to partner up with these projects in the right way, not in a stupid way like you let's say a gaming project marketing or partnering up with AI or an Oracle where it doesn't even make sense. Just try to find out a way in like which helps you both, which helps your product as well and their product as well. And then I think the community would appreciate it as well. And yeah, you would be able to benefit a lot. Yeah, and thank you guys. If you guys have any questions, I would be happy to answer those. I was trying to keep it short, hope so I don't spoil your weekend.
Thanks, Persh. That was really fast. I actually was expecting that we'll probably continue going because the kind of experience that you had has been phenomenal. Okay, so now so the idea basically is to probably understand a few parts of what you as a person have been doing. What has been the most challenging part in creating these strategies? You know, you as an individual would have received a lot of inputs from multiple places. One is sifting through those different advices that you have, right? Has been the most challenging part in one, creating these and getting all that advice from multiple people and sifting through or filtering through what is best for you. How has it been?
I would say like there were a lot of strategies that we implemented, right? Marketing strategies. Luckily for us, we had a lot of time during the bear market. We
Yeah,
reduced our burn rate to a very small amount, and we tried out everything. And we were able to figure out things which worked for us. And sometimes what happens is like some things work for you, and like some things that is working for our product might not work for your product as well, right? So you'll see that some projects are able to acquire millions of users just by doing an airdrop, and some of the projects they're not able to acquire, let's say, 10,000 users, right? So it's completely different, and how you implement those strategies. And I think honestly, what has worked for us is that, as I said, like partnering up with different projects that helped us a lot, onboarding KOLs, getting more VCs. And I think the most important thing in the Web3 space is KOL marketing. So even if you want to get users, the KOLs would help you out. Even if you want to get, let's say, VCs, uh, they would help you out as well, because a lot of VCs would see, okay, this is what you're building. There's a hype around this product in this space. So I think the most important thing for you guys as well would be to maybe, if you're new in the space, just onboard an advisor or join an accelerator, which has a really good connection to these KOLs as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very wise. It's very vital to actually be able to find advisor. Question is, how do you identify the right advisor?
Yeah, so I would
Do,
say, like,
do you? I just ask you, because it's been a question that I ask a lot of people. Do you interview advisors as well?
yeah, kind of like that. So see, everyone in the Web3 space, they'll just come to you and say that, like, we can help you out in this thing. And eventually what happens is, like, once you sign an agreement with them, they just disappear, right? I said that as well. This happened with us as well. We were able to void this out. And but yeah, like, it's really important, like, you, as I said, like, if I don't need help with something, it doesn't make sense to onboard them as an advisor, right? For example, we
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
onboarded Consensus. The first advisor that we onboarded or accelerator program that we joined was Consensus, and they were able to help us out with, I would say, a lot of connections, right? The right connections in the space. They were able to, like, we were able to get some really good intros as well because of them, and they were pretty quick as well. Then the other one was, I would say, Cointelegraph. So Cointelegraph helped us with a lot of marketing strategies and growth strategies as well. And we got some free credits as well, so that we were able to promote it way better. And yeah, they have a really big team. Also, they have helped us with the KOs as well and a lot of other stuff. And obviously, Pivot, I knew Anshul sir and Shantanu for a while. So, like, where we were struggling was, I would say, with the tokenomics and the right strategy. I think even finalizing the market maker is a pretty big deal. Like, you're building
Yeah.
such an amazing product, and you hire a market maker, which could mess up the whole project. And if you, I would say, don't get that good pump, and not even, let's say, the good pump, let's say even you sign a deal with a shitty market maker and they dump your token, it's really hard to recover from that. So I think Anshul sir was like, helped me out in that stuff as well, and some other stuff as well, like maybe onboarding the right investors and other KOs and other, like, we're working very closely with Pivot as well. So other strategies, like if you want to connect it to a KOL, we want to get connected to this community, or let's say the ecosystem. So we're able to get a lot of help from that. So I think that's really important to decide first where you need help, and then approach these, I would say, advisors or accelerators. And yeah, if it makes sense, if you're getting a good deal, then yeah, for sure, go for it.
Yeah, thanks so much. Okay, we have two questions, two hand raises. One is with Victor and then Priyank. We'll go with Victor first. Victor, you can put on the video if you want to talk to him, and keep the question short. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you join Cointelegraph Accelerator, or how did you partner with Cointelegraph? And if you did, was it really that valuable for you as the marketing credits and stuff like that? Because I've heard from the network of ours that it's basically overpriced marketing, and they just get your tokens out of the marketing services that they provide, and it's overpriced in terms of what you get. And most of the projects that went with Cointelegraph were actually just putting it as a PR rather than marketing, because they didn't really get a lot out of this program. So that's my question.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, like, I've heard that a lot. So what happened was, like, we were part of Consensus accelerator program, and Cointelegraph partnered up with them, right? We didn't know about the partnership back then when we approached Cointelegraph. So we heard that the people from our other projects in the Consensus ecosystem didn't get as good of a deal as we got, and they paid maybe a big chunk of their tokens. And luckily for us, we had worked with Cointelegraph team before, and we knew what is the right price for, let's say, PR and other things. So we got the right amount of credits for the right amount of tokens that we gave them. And also, like, they've been really helpful. Like, they can connect you with Wintermute or any other big market maker that you want. Maybe your advisors could do that as well, but they also connected us to some really good KOL managers, and we were able to onboard tier 1 KOL managers from there. So it depends like what deal you're getting from them. If you're getting a really good deal, I think then for sure, I think it would be really helpful to work with them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I think, when I gave the host to you, there were some people waiting in the meeting, and I'm so sorry. It's okay. We will be sharing the recording as well. There we are. We have a couple of more questions. Priyank, please take over the question, and then we go to Rakesh.
Hi, Sparsh. So I have a very specific question. You talked about account abstraction at the start of the call. I wanted to know more about account abstraction in simplest words, because I think we have some Web2 users as well on the call, as well as why is it the trending narrative currently?
Sure. I would say, like, I wouldn't get more into the technical stuff, the paymasters, bundlers, and everything. So basically, what account abstraction does is it makes it super easy for the users to interact with other applications. So when I started working on Plena, right, I saw that it was the same number, right? There were a lot of people who were investing in crypto, but very few of them were using these blockchain applications. And the reason for that was the poor user experience that they were getting. For example, if we have to compare it to the Web2 applications, why they got so many users? Because they were super easy to use. If you remember using, let's say, Gmail or Twitter, right? They didn't ask you to go and learn about the underlying technology, which was, let's say, SMTP or databases, how databases work, APIs work, the underlying technology work, nothing. But when you start using a Web3 application, right? So it's super difficult. Like if I transfer you 1,000 USDT or you get 1,000 USDT from me and you want to buy Bitcoin with that 1,000 USDT on BNB chain, you would go there. First of all, you would have to learn about the gas price, or first of all, you would have to learn about the native token, because you need to buy BNB now to pay for the transaction fees. Without BNB on BNB chain, you can't do anything. Then you would have to learn about gas prices. Then you would have to do multiple transactions. And it's not that you send all of those transactions at once. If you're using a EUA wallet like MetaMask, you have to complete the first transaction, then you move on to the second one, and then the third one, then the fourth one. And this was pretty, I would say, overwhelming for a new user, and that's why a lot of people weren't using it. Even a lot of people that we onboarded at that time, they were pretty confused, and they all were using centralized exchanges because it was super easy for them to move, use those exchanges, right, or move funds around and buy tokens from there. So yeah, that was a major problem. And what we did was we created a solution which makes your smart contract wallet as your primary wallet instead of an EUA wallet, and you keep all of your funds there, but it gives you much more benefits or much more features, because you're able to batch the transactions together, and instead of doing, let's say, 10 to 12 transactions, you're able to combine all of that transaction data together and send it to the blockchain as one single transaction. Now it saves you up to 30% on the transaction fees as well, and also you're able to pay for the transaction fees in the token of your choice. So let's say if we refer to the same example, buying Bitcoin on BNB chain with USDT, you would be able to pay transaction fee with USDT on BNB chain without holding any BNB token. And instead of doing 2 transactions, you would be able to buy, for buying Bitcoin, you would be able to buy Bitcoin in one single transaction. So it makes it super easy for the users. Also, there's this concept of social login as well. Social login was there for a while. I think it was there in 2018. It had a different name. Web3 Auth had a different name. It was Taurus Wallet back then. And also, we were the first application to integrate that into our application. Our users were able to log in with their Gmail and Twitter account, and create a blockchain account over there. So even if you lose your device, it's super easy, super convenient. You can just simply log in to your Gmail or Twitter account again, and then you get access to your funds.
Okay, so just a follow-up question on that. Will there be a wallet, third-party wallet being used here, or the wallet will be, by the application, your application?
So currently it's by the application. What we have to do is we have to create a smart contract for you, right? And we're able to decide or find out the address for the smart contract before it's deployed. So what happens is we need to deploy smart contracts, and we have the ownership of those smart contracts. But luckily, it's designed in a way. We designed it in a way that even we can't change anything in that particular smart contract. So if you want to, the best part is it's completely in your control. It's completely non-custodial. What we do is when you come to our application, a new EUA account is created similar to MetaMask, but that account is the owner of the account abstraction wallet, right? and that account doesn't hold any funds or do anything. It simply signs the transaction, and the transaction that you sign goes to the blockchain, then via a relay, and that transaction is confirmed or executed and by a wallet by verifying the signature on the blockchain.
Okay, thanks.
We have Victor again raising a hand for a question. You have a question again? And Rakesh,
Yes.
Can we take Rakesh's question first, Victor? Rakesh,
Yes.
you have a question. Rakesh, you have a question.
Sure, thanks. Spash, I just like you mentioned about airdrop strategies at multiple times. That is fine, but I just wanted to understand, as it is an app. So, are you geographically targeting your audience and the app, or how you, because every country has a different regulation. So how are you handling that part? If it is a small company with, okay, if it is not recognizable, fine, but think that if it grows, definitely. So how are you dealing with that?
So when we launch, like, I don't think it's important to focus on a, I would say, certain region. I think maybe for the token, or if you have KOLs from there, right, you're able to focus more on that community. But for us, we were just promoting it and like going to Twitter Spaces, partnering up with different projects. And what happened was, if I'm partnering up with a different project, and I don't care which country that project is from, if that project is from, let's say, USA or Russia, when I promote my project to that project community, or like share my project and their community sees it, I might get users from there, right? So, but yeah, like, about the regulations as well, like it was pretty, like we have a legal team who which takes care of everything. So we struggled with something as well a while ago. App Store, we only have a mobile application, so we were on App Store and Play Store, and suddenly App Store, I would say, changed their policies for listing a crypto application or Web3 application on App Store, and we had to create legal opinion for every single country. And like our legal team had to work on that. And even after that, in US, it was kind of difficult to launch your application because they made some changes that you need MTL, money transferring license, and that costs up to $600,000, and maybe a year to get that, right? So luckily, we were able to find a loophole, and we were able to launch the application there. But yeah, like talking about the restrictions as well, like we don't operate, like our application isn't available in some of the countries, and but yeah, apart from that, like we have users from all over the globe.
No, what I meant is, like, example, whether it is a user from India or US. So the moment they get an airdrop or something, they might sell it or whatever. I don't know where, under what it will come. So by chance, like, if the particular country's government asks for a data or something, or like how you just gave them a free tokens or something, will that case arises? That's what I just wanted to understand. Or okay, that will be taken care as part of a legal thing or something like that.
I don't think that should be a problem. Like, yeah, that shouldn't. Honestly, I don't think that should be a problem. But yeah,
Okay,
I think you should speak with your legal team as well.
sure, thanks.
Okay, Victor, you have a question again.
Yes. The first time I didn't ask it because I wanted everyone to speak up. So, could you expand on the way that you approach Apple Store? We launched our MVP 10 days ago, and we are struggling with getting the app on the Apple Store. We have it only on the Android. So we've been our token company is registered in Panama. So when we want to pay for the developer program to speed up the process, they actually need a Panamanian bank credit card, in order to pay for this to speed up the process. So how did you manage again the issue of listing the app on the Apple Store, and what would you advise us on this?
Got it. So honestly, I'll have to check it with my co-founder. So we didn't have any problem listing our application on the App Store. It was pretty quick as well, maybe because he had experience with building mobile applications before. But on App Store, like yeah, for the card payment and everything else, we have a separate company, a separate development company, which we opened in a different country. So our company is also registered in SVG, and there's another company in some other country. and we usually use that company for all the expenses. So if you have a different company, or you can use your personal account as well. I think that should work as well.
Yeah, I was using my own, but then it was like, because that company is registered in Panama, so my own card credit, as I'm an European, it's being rejected as not accepted. So we've been also offered SGV registration. And again, which company did you use? Not the SGV one, right?
SVG, yeah.
Really? And what credit card did you use?
The card is from a different country, like a bank account from a different country. But yeah, I think if you need help with that, I can, yeah, for sure. You can maybe DM me on Telegram or Twitter. And I think for sure, I don't think it's a difficult process. So I can connect you with my co-founder and he can help you out.
Okay, so how can I find you on the Telegram?
So on Telegram, I think it's best if you just message me on Twitter. You can just go to Plena Finance, or you can find Spursh_Plena over there.
Could you write your username in the chat?
Sure.
That would be helpful.
I'll just share it, yeah, in the chat.
Yeah,
Thank you a lot.
we can share that as well if you. So if you go through our announcements that we have done, find names there as well, Victor.
Where?
Into the announcements, there are multiple announcements that we have done.
Okay, so in Duma.
Just hold on, just give me a moment. I think it's there right away. I'm handing over. I'm leaving it here for everyone. Sparsh.
By the time, Sparsh, I have my last question. Like, if we are okay.
Yeah, please, Rakesh, please go.
Yeah. Okay. So, when we start any kind of a product, right? Like the first thing, like taking a feedback from the calls, or and if the font is right, I tried multiple times, or even if we are in a MVP stage as well, like we just need to get an input of a product, not just with the community, because many will be running behind a drop or like some kind. But if we want a honest feedback, either from influencer or angels or whomsoever, like I see like not big response when I try to connect via LinkedIn or whatever. Any thoughts on that? Any tips, like how to get initial feedbacks to start delivering and move forward?
I would say that's why you need a good advisor. Honestly, the thing is, like, currently we're in the bull run, and these KOLs are really, really busy. Like, they're advising a lot of other projects, maybe promoting other projects as well, and they're working on their own stuff as well, right? So they have to push content every single day, maybe multiple times a day, and maybe they're trading and doing some other stuff. So, as I said before, like, if you approach them directly, it would be really, really difficult. We saw that as well. Maybe you get an answer in a day or two, maybe in a week, maybe in a month, maybe not. They won't reply, and sometimes they reach out to you. And but yeah, if you're at this stage right now, you should use your advisor or angel investor, or let's say the accelerator that you join, because that would help you a lot, right? So for example, like Pivot is a really good one. Like, they connected to T1 influencers and other angel investors as well. So if you need any help, you can just reach out to them. They would connect you with these KOLs, and then it's up to you. Like, if you share your product with them, they like it for sure. I think they would be happy to promote it. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like just kind of like pitching it to the KOLs as well. Pitch to as many as possible. Keep a budget or a token allocation that you need to distribute to these KOLs, because these initial KOLs would help you get those, help you build that initial community, right? These KOLs that you on board, and also later on they would help you with the user acquisition as well, and maybe help you get token buyers later on, and also the VCs as well, right? So a VC would invest in your product right now in the Web3 space if you're building a really cool project, a really big project, or if you have a really solid community, or if there's a hype about your project in the space.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Anyone else has a question?
Yes, I do have a question, because
Yeah,
I don't have a verified Twitter account, so I cannot
Victor.
message you on the Twitter, and I cannot message Plena on the Twitter as well, because I don't have a verified Twitter account. I don't have the ticket.
Okay.
I'm not paying a subscription.
Okay, cool. Just 1 second. Or you can share your Twitter ID here. I'll just DM you there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you can. Dhaval, did you have a question?
I posted in the chat. Thanks.
Can you see the chat, Sparsh? You're on mute.
So yeah, Victor, I have your username. Let me just.
Yeah, we can do that. If nobody else has a question, I think what we can do is a lot of things that I have personally learned a lot as well, because when it comes to the operations at an accelerator, there are certain nuances that you need to keep on having at a certain point in time. I learned a lot from Anshul as well. Okay, some bit of experiences that help is Anshul being around and just giving those tidbits from time to time as well. And of course, you have actual execution, right? Actual people who create or build things, the people like Sparsh who have been working, but people who are basically put their hands in the dirt to build something. So I think you get to hear from them from time to time. And one thing which is very good here is basically trying to get a good list of advisors and KOLs and start working towards your actual plan as such. I did have a few more questions, but I think we are just out of time. So, Sparsh, if the last words he wants to say about this thing.
I would say, yeah, guys, I don't think like you should focus on your product first of all, right? If you're like, there are so many problems to be solved right now, right? Everyone's super confused where we're headed. Maybe like currently, I think the biggest problem for us is just, or our users is, right? We thought that we solved the user experience problem, but as a user, if a new user comes in, he's still pretty confused which chain to use right now, right? Where he should keep his funds, or and how to move their funds. So I think if you're building something related to chain abstraction or maybe something else, I think then I think it's really, really amazing. You could actually build something which everyone else in the space would use. Maybe you can come out with your own standard as well. And yeah, I think the bull run would end in a couple of months, maybe 1.5 to 2 years. It would you still have that time, but yeah, I think you need to act quickly. You need to have a clear plan, and like us, you don't, like Plena, like you don't have enough time to experiment a lot of stuff. So I think the best thing would be to take help of these advisors or strategic investors that you onboard. And yeah, I would say, like, if you're launching a new product that and you already have an idea, so best of luck.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sparsh. Really appreciate time. Friends from the community, thank you so much for being around at this point in time, asking questions. It was definitely a pleasure to have you with us, Sparsh. And I'm sure the other participants will have learned from this as well. This entire recording will again be actions and then we're going to send out a message. Everyone will have spoken about. We're also going to have a short summary. Thank you very much, Sparsh. Really appreciate you spending time talking about this. Really appreciate. And again, thank you on behalf of everyone else, on behalf of Pivot, everyone who's joined us. I hope to see you in the next one. The next one is going to be something to do with ecosystem. We're going to have someone from Zeta Chain coming and talk. So yeah, because I think it's very important to, while we have a strategy in place, we have to learn how to build ecosystem. That is going to happen on the 29th. Stay tuned for the message that we will set out. It's going to be wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. We'll end the meeting. Thank you so much once again. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.